morning. Welcome. It's Sunday for most of you. Welcome to the early morning show. Action-packed week here. Lots to go through today. I love Puerto Rico. I start my new area of Michigan this week, but guess what? There was one caveat. I keep Puerto Rico, so cheers to Puerto Rico. In fact, next Sunday, I'm heading down there. I haven't been to Puerto Rico in almost a year with the pandemic and everything that was going on down there. So I'm really, really excited. Took a couple extra days for vacation. And then my my boss, who's never been there, says, "You're going to Puerto Rico?" And yeah, I've never been there. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to come down too. Oh, great. Actually, I work for a very good boss. I like her a lot, but yeah, that's cutting my beach time, man. So, Mr. Pale and Pasty out on the beach, but it is what it is. I have to show you this. So I've talked about for my contest, and again, if you have an interest, think about it. No strings attached to your comment or do the video. But I said I'm giving away mugs. Okay, I've been trying to get the design. I got them. Look at these. White and black. Aren't those great? So now I'm trying to decide what's better, the white or the black. Feel free to comment. Feel free to tell me, what are you thinking? I'm torn. Gosh darn, those look great, don't they? Wow. Cat's well, actually, Cat could care less, but he's out right now outside. He stayed out all night, came in, and when I got up at 4, had a snack, went back out. So, yeah, I won't get hair all over myself today. I should be wearing my, my early morning t-shirt. There's my sign. But, I do have several hundred t-shirts, and I just can't keep wearing the same t-shirt. I mean, otherwise these shirts will never get worn again. So, got to wear a different shirt. So we got a little U2 action going on today. A group that doesn't get love, but I really like them. All right, if you missed it, I'm not going to show this on this episode, but last week I did. Most of you probably did watch it. I showed the metal box set. This came from Vinyl Me Please. It is Metal Blade, and I know zero. Well, I know a little bit about metal, but not a lot. So I bought a box set of it, and from Metal Blade was the record label, and I did show that. I played samples from it. I gave you my thoughts on it. Still very excited. It was good to get, because if you don't know about something, it's hard to talk about it, or so you got to learn. To me, that's just part of life. It's, what is that? There's this curiosity factor out there. I am not, as anybody who's watched this channel, I'm much of a metal, because I just haven't been exposed to it and never had an interest. Bought that. So I was. Some I liked, some I didn't like. But that's how we learn and how we improve and expand our musical horizons. So I did put that out there last week. Please feel free to watch it and enjoy all my what I look like as I'm listening to stuff that might be a little different. I did receive some VCLT this week. I won't be showing this episode, but I just wanted to thank Dom Seeking a Thread, Jason at Hackman. Just thank you. We're going to deep dive into those here. Just some wonderful music from Brazil, which is from Hackman. He is the expert on Brazil, bar none. And Dom from Seeking a Thread, just musical knowledge. It just makes me feel like I'm an absolute idiot. Just incredible what he listens to. So that's coming up, but I wanted to just say thank you real quick. Record Store Day. I heard it was yesterday, so I went to Detroit. I used to be able to get in line at 4 a.m., be first in line. Those days are gone. Sucks. Even my local place was packed. the night before, my small little store, Radio Wasteland. But I went to Detroit, and I'm going to show you just, this is super fast. I will get into these albums. It's going to take me probably 6 months for you to see them all, to talk about them. I just want to show you real quick because people want to know, right? Right. So I did get the Cubo African album that I was looking for, and again, from Buena Vista Social Club, a mix of Cuban and African music. Very cool. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out where all this is going to go. Hold on. The William Tyler one, I was really looking forward for this. New Vanitas. I did listen to it. Yeah, I was a little disappointed and lost the card. And Buzzcocks, did get that. 2-album set. That was extremely expensive for a 2-album set. Buzzcocks, I think it ripped me off. But I love the Buzzcocks. It's reinventing their songs. Toots and Mayhaw, Fat City Vinyl, Doug. Look at that, got it. So I was happy to get this. An important reggae album. Did get Bobo Jenkins. This will be available from Third Man Record after Record Store Day. This is a nice purple vinyl. Bluesman, cool. I wanted that. This one, a lot of people were looking for. I'm really happy to get it. Fela Kuti. It would have been a shame if I had not got Fela Kuti, right? I mean, I got this huge collection of the dudes, so happy. We hadn't planned on getting this, but there it was. I bought it. Iggy Pop. And cool album, live from 1988. You know, did I need it? Probably not. Another one I really wanted, Youth of America, The Wipers. 2-album set. One album has their demos, and the other one is the album. Very cool to get that. And then the one that I wanted more than anything, Chicago Blues Today. This is a 3-album set. I used to have these single albums before the flood, but they were all used. This is how I got into blues. And I done a response for Chris Blues Guys Vinyl that I was going to post for Blues Tag. I have to reshoot it now because I got this. Yes. That was my number one. I did get in the Jesters, the Dragsters, the Jester by the Dragsters. The Jesters do the whoever. Jim Messina and the Jesters do the Dragsters. Jesters, Dragsters, what the hell? It's a surf group. Don't know. Hopefully it's good. And I was on the fence, but I did buy it. Rage Against the Machine. There was 1 billion copies of these out there, and I got that. So that was Record Store Day. I was delighted. I go, man, I spent the least amount I've spent. And then it kind of hit me. They split the damn thing in 2. There's another one coming. I've spent more money than I've ever spent because there's stuff on that one. I didn't get the War box set got pushed off. So it's like, well, damn it. I was going to cut back, but hey. So, thank you, Detroit. All right, let's begin now. Time to show the new stuff this week. 8 minutes in. First off, Gary Newman put out a brand new album. This is called Intruder. You know him as Gary Newman, but if you're his mom, he is Gary Anthony Joyce Webb. Gary Anthony Joyce Webb. Time to eat. He born in 58. I don't know. He's a year older than me, and I couldn't pull this off. This look. Could I? You go, well, God, Steve, you're 62. Why are you dressed like that? But obviously Gary feels that he's able to do this. You know, when he was 15, that's when he got his first guitar. It was what was it? Gibson Les Paul is what he got. He formed the Two Boy Army, and actually he formed it with his uncle. Yes, Uncle Jerry. Uncle Jerry was part of the Two Boy Army when he formed it. I just thought that was kind of humorous. And he went by the name when he first started as Velas Velisarian, I believe, is what he called himself. And he decided, he was looking at a phone book, and he saw there was an advertisements for Newman's Plumbing. Newman's Plumbing. It's like, oh, Newman, that will be my new name. So, yes, he was named after a plumber. So Gary Newman, that's how he came up with it. You may not know this. He's a trained pilot, and actually in 1980 he formed his own airline. So now think about this: 1980. Now he's 22 years old. He formed his own airline called Newman Air, and he flew around the world nonstop. It was on his second attempt. He had one other person, a co-pilot, with him. And he's flown around the world. He is huge into that, and also within auto racing. So what about this album? This is like a science fiction soundtrack. I think that's the best way to describe this. It's about the impending climate catastrophe that's going on. It was inspired by his 12-year-old daughter, or maybe 11. She wrote a poem that he liked, but it was about the world and what's happening with the climate. Just think about it right now. I mean, just look at freaking lakes are dry. I mean, it's freaking scary, folks. You know, I feel for the kids because I'll be dead. But this is a stark analog synthesizers. There are these big choruses. It's very Trent Reznor, but who did Trent Reznor get his feel from? Him. But it's that starkness that really pervades in this album. It's a chilling, sinister soundscape. This is not something you will dance to. This is not something we're going to have a party, man. Let's pop on some Intruder. This baby's dark. Okay, now I loved his last album. It's called Escape. Gee whiz, I can't. 2017, I believe. I had the CD of that one. I thought it was really good. This is much darker, but he's trying to make a statement, very political. So you can listen to the sample, you see. But Gary Newman's Intruder just came out this year. For those of you cover black, it's dark. Then we had some jazz, okay? Yeah, it'll be genre jumping again, folks. Don't, if you're a jazz head, I know you go, oh, well, one jazz, yay. Okay, but this Stanley Turnitin Blue Note. I haven't, you know, I'm not buying all the Tone Poets. I can't afford them all. Well, it's just because I buy all this other stuff. You know, I bought a heavy metal box set. Well, that had to cut into something, right? But I like Stanley Turnitin. You know, he's not known at, you know, he's not the Davis or the Coltrane or, you know, like the Mingus. He is a little more commercial, I guess you could say. And this is his album came out, he did in 61, Coming Your Way. Thing is, I don't believe it was put out till 78. You know, Blue Note was just, there's so many sessions, so much going on. All this crap got thrown into a can. It just didn't make it out. I mean, it was just crazy when you think about this thing. You know, Turnitin, he just had this love for the roots of jazz and blues. That was what he was into. And he really liked to make music that had a groove to it. And that's what this has. Yeah, it was released in 78. So this is just an excellent up-tempo type album, which is what Turnitin really did well. He was really good with up-tempo stuff. I mean, it just starts off with My Girl's Just Enough. And it's just, there's just some wonderful solos. Everyone's trading off on the solos on there. Absolutely sounded great. Woman for Me, I think that is, let's see, no, Then I'll Be Tired of You. Then I'll Be Tired of You is this nice ballad. His brother, Tommy Turnitin, plays on that one, and sounds great. His trumpet is beautiful sounding on that one. There is Thompsonville, and Thompsonville is it's great hard bop tune. It's again really sounded good. Turnitin, for those like myself who aren't into all the jazz genres, well, I like to snap my finger. I like to groove to it. It's really good stuff. Perfect for those that are building a jazz collection but like it more melodic. Good. Can't go wrong with him. Next, I'd shown a Spaceman 3, and everyone said, hey, have you heard of Loop? Have you heard of Loop? And I had a number of you comment to me about Loop. So I went and bought Loop. And this is their first album, Heaven's End. Loop. It is, they formed in, 86 to 91. And they did 3 studio records. It's really, they kind of do these simple kind of tense riffs in there, but then they create a hypnotic groove around it. Critics at the time kind of said, oh, you're ripping off Spaceman 3. I mean, it's very similar. Are they ripping it off, or did Jesus and Mary Chain rip off Spaceman 3? You could say that about any kind of music. Well, you rip them off. But, it's similar. It's that drone that happens that I really like. It is guitar heavy. And it's, one of those guitar heavy, druggy bands. Except this is darker. I mean, it is I'm doing some freaking dark music, aren't I, today? Huh. We'll have to have next album. We'll pick it up a little bit. This is, let's see, what we got on some of this. If I can find Straight to Your Heart was one song on here. And it just had this heavy, grinding, whammy bar gem of a song. Their Heaven's End, the title track, actually is the only instrumental. The vocals in here, they sing, but they're pushed down in. So the vocals actually become more of an instrument and not something you're going to hear as much. You're not going to get the understanding of them because it's just more part of the noise that's coming from here. There is, it's just hard to read these things. Forever. It's a kind of a droning, slower type tune, so they do bring it down. There's some slower ones and there's some faster ones. I mean, this album, it's filled with musical fuzz, I guess would be a good way to describe it. It's kind of a noisy alt rock, a neo-psych punk type attitude to it. So this is really good to get. I like Spaceman 3 better than Loop, but the similarities are there, and it's an exciting addition to my collection. So pretty neat. Thank you, VC, and a couple of you recommended this, and I wish I'd written down who that was. Oh, I've gotten bad at that. All right, let's talk a little bit. I said we need to get a little happier, right? Okay. Sheena Williams and his African percussion. That is the album. I recently threw to Sheena Williams, and it was African Dances. So this is another album. This came out in '79. Sheena's from Lagos, Nigeria. It's just another, it's a fusion. I would say it's kind of a fusion of Afrobeat, electronic, boogie, disco, all tossed in there. And you'll hear that. There's a lot of organ going on. There are horns happening throughout the album. It has 6 tracks on here, but really, it's like one on each side, because it forms this groove, which is this hypnotic groove. It has more of a hypnotic groove than African Dances. And so that's driving it. And then you have the call and response lyrics that separate the songs, but you can't tell really that there's 6 different songs on here. It's just this fun music to hear. It's just raw, hypnotic, and again, I truly love the grooves that Afrobeat music puts down. I mean, I'm a groove dude. I guess that makes me groovy, doesn't it? I've never been told I'm groovy, ever. But great album. I picked up. Great to add to the Afro-funk, Afrobeat selection. For those, if you want something hypnotic driven, you can find this out there. It's not like a hard album. Amazon probably has it. Your local record store might. Sheena Williams and his African percussion. Hypnotic. Then, next one, I was unable to put a sample on. It's blocked everywhere. Stiff Little Finger. Hanks. Hanks is what the name of the album. See? Hanks. I adore Stiff Little Finger. I think it's one of the best punk bands that ever happened. They are still making music. They have made so many albums. I never got past the first few and never got into their later works. And that's a shame. They're probably great for whatever reason. I got their first one. It was just such a pinnacle. And I've just never gotten past it. Well, this is the third one, and it's a live album. Excuse me. Came out in 1980. This has enough energy to light up a small town. Probably light up a medium-sized town. I really think it would. I haven't shown any labels. I wonder if any of that was colored vinyl. I don't think so. Oh, pressless. Wow. Ooh, hey, glad to show that one, Steve. This is, you know, a lot of people compared them with The Clash. But when you listen to them, they're filled with power riffs. And actually, almost you could say it's more like The Who when you think of the power chords that they're doing. The lead vocalist is not for everyone. He just has such a rough, growling voice on there. Not death metal growl. It is sandpaper growl. This is just a nice mix of songs from their first 2 albums. It's like a greatest hits done live. It is aggressive, streetwise songwriting. Political. Not, I don't think there's a ballad on this thing. You put on that needle and you're going to go. Be up, you're going to be going. There's just this relentless backbeat. Again, no ballads allowed. It's just outstanding music. You know, I should show on here that loop, the album I haven't had. I was unfamiliar with this one, so that's kind of neat. Loop, that was the album label. Okay, for those that like that. And a couple more. Get through this. Man or Astro Man. I have picked up a couple of these, and this one is on a cherry red vinyl. Man or Astro Man, formed in '92, still going on. Out of Auburn, Alabama. Go Tigers. And it is, they do mostly instrumental music. But this one, they do have a lot of vocals. This is more of a rock album. This is not the typical surf music that you would expect from Man Astroman, especially from their 90s output. So this thing really rocks hard. It is much more political. The name of the album is DEFCON 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first song is 10, the second song is 9. It counts down, and the final song, DEFCON 1, is they kind of bring in the surf rock, but they get political. They get into what's happening in the world, so it's something different. I believe this came out in 2013, if I remember right. So actually, when they were formed, see, this is a punk rock group that came from outer space. They came to outer space. I said punk, a surf music group. And so from outer space, they came here to play surf music. And so when they started, Star Crunch was the guitarist, Bird Stuff was the bass player, and Coco, the electronic monkey wizard, played drums. I just thought you need to know the band's name just in case, okay? So fun album. You know, is it essential in a collection? No, but you know, the early stuff, you'll get some really good surf guitar. This thing rocks. It has some really hard, there's some a little quieter songs, more political, but crunchy guitars. This was some SCLT from last week. Yes, still SCLT, folks. And Ron Reffett, he's out of Ohio, and you know, we tried to get together. I'm sorry, Ron. Now I'm in Michigan, and so we couldn't get together. If you're watching, my apologies, because I would have loved to have met you. But this is one of the albums he sent me. This is Courtney Barnett's second album, and came out in 2017, I believe. Courtney Barnett, from Australia. 1987 she was born. She was young. She was in a number of groups. Isn't that shiny, huh? Before she finally recorded her first EP in 2013. But she was in a group called, what's it called? Her mom was a ballerina too. How's that for cool? There was Rapid Transit. She was in Courtney Barnett and the Olivettes. She was in Immigrant Union. She seems to me there's one other one. But in 2013, she recorded an EP. She recorded an album, her first album that I don't remember the name, that went up for a bunch of Grammys, but I really would like to get it. This is really good. This was a very good. It gets better as you listen to it. It's called Tell Me How You Really Feel. Tell Me How You Really Feel is the name of the album. And with each listen, I think it really does get better. She sings in kind of a sing-song, sing-speak type of a voice, so that makes it different. It is, there's some quieter moments on it, but some really rocking songs. It is filled with hooks, just really, really. It's a very good album. If you haven't listened to Courtney Barnett, she sings what's in her heart. So you know, and there's I think some tragedy, breakup, stuff like that's going on. So wasn't necessarily the happiest lyrics, but Ron, thank you. This has grown on me. So that's the update. We showed a lot of depressing stuff this week, didn't we? Although some record store day. You're going to. I really behind on videos that I've promised to do for people. There's a couple contests I have to do, and so you're going to see more, Steve, than maybe your stomach can handle. So, but promises are promises, and I got to get these things done. So I probably have a busy day recording stuff here to send out later, but thank you so much, as always, for joining me, being with me, popping in. Hey, let me know what to think about those mugs, okay? Because those are going to be part of my prices. Everyone, have a great week. Bye.